We crowned a champion last week at the Toledo Speedway for the BodyArmor LYTE Series East. Tonight, the other side of the country, we might crown a champion in the BodyArmor LYTE Series West. We're here once again at the Meridian Speedway in Meridian, Idaho. This is the penultimate race of the season for the BodyArmor LYTE Series West, and Rayan Durrani has a chance at clinching the title here tonight. If he leaves this race with a 12-point lead or higher, he will be your champion in the BodyArmor LYTE Series West. He's got 63 laps from the pole position to get it done here tonight. Let's see how it goes down here in this quarter-mile racetrack in the Pacific Northwest. It's the Idaho 200. Idaho 250 here in the BodyArmor LYTE Series West, race 14 of the season here in the 2025 season. Hello everybody, this is AG here and welcome to the Meridian Speedway here in Meridian, Idaho. We are here for the 14th, the penultimate race of the season in the BodyArmor LYTE Series West. Back again on this quarter-mile racetrack, which saw Kyler Sustra, I do believe, win here back in April. We're back again here in October. Only 2 races left to go. We've got this one here tonight, and then Phoenix on October 30th to crown the champion officially, though we might do that here tonight. Rayan Durrani starts on the pole position, a 9-point lead on Caleb Rose. All he's got to do is have a 12-point lead or higher exiting this race. If he wins this race, he will win the championship regardless of where Caleb Rose finishes. So Rayan Durrani in a very good spot to possibly clinch this title here tonight. Join alongside Nathan Stapleton. This is one of your favorite racetracks, as he told me. You used to run this in your ARCA series, and well, this is kind of an ARCA series equivalent for us here. So how do you think this race is going to play out after what we saw back in April? Of course, Rayan Durrani got spun around by Zayden Davidson in that race, and we saw a different winner. But Durrani starts on the pole here tonight for this one. Do you think he's got the best shot at this, or I don't know, what is he going to have to do to get these 63 laps to go his way here in Meridian Speedway?
Well, like you said, for Rayan Durrani, this is the best case scenario for him. Has a 9-point lead now with that pole, and he could just run away with this thing. But in the back of his mind, he's probably thinking, the last time we were here, I got spun. So you definitely don't want to try and get spun. This is only a quarter of a mile short track, and it is a bull ring here. It's one of my favorites here on NR, and it's going to be a fun night of some being and bang bull ring short track type racing. And for Durrani, all he has to do is try not to get spun like he did in April, and he might clinch the title here tonight.
We'll have to see how that ends up shaking out for him. Of course, he's in a very good position to avoid that from happening. But as we saw, anything can happen here in Meridian Speedway, and even though it's a very short race, only 63 laps, that's still probably running the lap traffic as well. This being a quarter-mile long racetrack, it can definitely get wild on these small facilities that we go to here. Of course, only 2 races left to go. 13 races complete here in the BodyArmor LYTE Series West. And you see the points right there on your screen. Rayan Durrani's got 9 points on Caleb Rose and 13 points on Skep Silver. It is a lot closer over here than it was in the East Series, but Durrani's got an opportunity at clinching in a race early, which did not happen over in the East Series. As a matter of fact, it went down on the wire at Toledo last week when Alexander Rowe ended up finishing ahead of Aaron Abel in that one to win the title by 1 point. Durrani could just outright clinch it here tonight, and we'll see if the 54 for Velocity Racing can in fact pull that off. But alongside Skep Silver to start this one out there for Rayan Durrani. Our last winner, Rashia Mahendra, got the win at Colorado to the inside of Zayden Davidson there in row number 2. And Mauricio Vebalist and Max Davis in row 3. Trey Wright to the inside of Caleb Rose there, and Caleb in a pretty poor position. That outside lane does not usually work out on these short tracks. He's starting 8th. We'll see if he can find his way ahead of Rayan Durrani, and essentially has to finish ahead of Durrani to stay in the championship fight. Got Johnson Jameson to the inside of Nicholas Cameron, Kyler Sustra, and Owen Miles. Got ourselves the number 10 machine there. That is Marcus Glitch to the inside of Keegan Thompson, Henry Brown, and the 05 machine of J.R. Ribbleton. And then, of course, we got Blaine Keys, Idaho native there to the inside of Logan Williams. Logan was going to be in that lead race, but he called it, so he ended up moving to this one. But a couple of Pro Series drivers there. Of course, Blaine Keys, the Pro Series points leader. We're going to be back with the Pro Series next weekend at Talladega. And then we're really going to get some races going over there in the Pro Series throughout November and crown a champion over there once we get to December. But we got 2 races left to go here in the BodyArmor LYTE Series West. very short race track, so I'm going to go ahead and let you get your pick in, Nathan, and then we'll get these guys to roll off here from the Meridian Speedway.
Well, I think last time we saw Twilight Racing get the job done. I think that's going to happen again, but flip it to the other car. I think Matt Davis, even if he's on the outside lane, he's only third up top instead of where Caleb Rose is. So I think Matt Davis might be able to do the Twilight Racing Meridian sweep here in 2025.
We'll just have to see if he gets his first win of the season, 10th in points, so has been the best of runs for him here in the West Series, but it's been a good run for Durrani. Only 3 wins on the season, though he has clearly been one of the faster cars in these standalone events, and he's got an opportunity to just outright seal it here tonight from the pole. Let's go ahead and get these drivers to roll off here, and then we'll get going here for 63 laps at Meridian Speedway. And now you see the flag starting to move there, so very, very good editing job on our part. Excited to see how this one goes down here. 63 laps on a Friday night here for the LYTE Series West. Good to get into primetime action here on the Friday evening. Of course, you got Rocky M tomorrow in the Truck Series. But tonight, we're green flag racing here in Meridian and already underway here as Durrani gets a good jump at the start. A pretty good start there for Skep Silver as well, ahead of Rashi Mahendra. And it's that short pit lap. It was hard for some of those guys to kind of get in line, and already some of these guys just all over the place throughout the racetrack, but Rayan Durrani out front in the 54 machine. He's going to lead the first lap. Mauricia Vebles to the inside of Zayden Davison and Max Davis, and Caleb Rose did not get that outside that work to their advantage right there. And it's a very tight racetrack as Durrani continues to lead in the 54.
A very tight racetrack, but you tend to see like what we just saw in turn 1 and 2, and sometimes here in 3 and 4. It's hard to stick the bottom sometimes here at Meridian, and that is what Skep Silver's to try and do in a little bit of a bump and 1 action, attempting moving the 19 up the racetrack, and if that got us a little bit wrong, the outside lane is really not really want to be, but Skep Silver trying to get to Durrani but slips up and might have battled for third and might have battled for second here from third place.
And Rashi Mahendra looking to go back-to-back here in the West Series. They've already won twice this season, including the showdown race in Memphis back in May. Though they are all the way back 8th in the standings, they are mathematically out of contention for the championship at this point, but still going for some wins. Going to be an owner in the Wall Cup Series, already is an owner in the Truck Series, and has been successful up to this point with Brian Webb winning a couple of times already this season over in the Truck Series. But Durrani is in the position, if he doesn't hit the wall right here, to clinch the championship the way they are currently running. Like I said, as long as he wins this race, he's going to be your champion. And with Caleb Rose as far back as he is, Caleb's actually outside of the points right now in that 24 machine. So we thought he might have a shot. Ended up winning the showdown between the East and the West Series. Had a very good string of races in those events, but the standalone events have not necessarily worked out as well for him. Blaine Keys on the 14, of course, this being a short track, a little difficult for him to work his way through the field. He was in this race back in April as well. Kind of struggling right now, our Pro Series points leader. Whereas next season, we're looking to add a lot of these short tracks. The LYTE Series will probably not return in 2026, but looking to add a lot of these short tracks that we've been going to in the LYTE Series as events in the BodyArmor Pro Series, so we can continue going to them. And Meridian is looking to be on the calendar for 2026 for the BodyArmor Pro Series, so we're excited about that. Rayan Durrani is excited about that as well. If he wins this title, he's going to get a Pro Series ride for next year as a driver. And as he has shown here this season, he is an excellent driver, and he has led every lap so far here in this Idaho 250.
Durrani has led every single lap. Skep Silver's been in second for every single lap. And like I said, it's easy to make a mistake, and we've seen that a couple of times. And another thing, Alex, is that we're only on lap 14, and you can already see the tail end of the field already be a factor. And I don't think that was really a factor in the spring, with that race having a couple of yellows. So
oh, someone's in the wall back in there. Trey Wright.
Oh boy!
A contact there with Marcus Glitch. You see the damage on the 19 machine. Been a tough season for Trey Wright, 15th in the points. Been a tough season for this team as a whole. Red Lightning Racing, and Matt Black's team right there has definitely not gotten off to the right foot here in the West Series. Tough break for him. And Caleb Rose all the way at the back of the field. Not at all what he needed in that 24 machine. And this is kind of a tough one. This is a home race, of course, for BK Industries. Blaine Keys, of course, and none of those guys are really having a good run in this race. You know, we got 42 of Nicholas Cameron inside the top 10. Really, that's about all they've got going for him as Blaine tries to make a move on Owen Miles right there in the back of the field. A lot of great racing in the back of the field. And they have not separated up front either. Skep Silver's got an opportunity of getting his second win of the season. Of course, he got the win at the LA Coliseum, and Skep actually has an opportunity. If he can beat Durrani, if he can win this race, he actually will keep the championship going in to Phoenix. He'll actually have an opportunity of taking it away from Durrani at Phoenix if things go his way in that race. But he's got to finish ahead of Durrani in order to make that happen. And he would gain those 3 points and make it a 10-point gap, which means that Skep would have to win the race, and Durrani failed a point, essentially, going to Phoenix if that happened to work out. But Durrani has done an excellent job holding onto this race. He had a bit of a chip on his shoulder as well from what happened to him back in April here. And see that lap traffic is going to start coming to effect here in just a couple of laps.
Yeah, welcome to Meridian, welcome to a cool mile, and we didn't see this in the spring really, but this has gone clean and green so far, and you can still see the back part of the field are really racing hard. Single file and double file, so that's going to be very chaotic, full out of top 2, maybe even top 3, but I'm noticing that Skep is pulling away from Mahindra in 3rd, so I think Skep has a better car than Mahindra, and maybe, just maybe, a better car than Durrani. Gotta see how lap traffic plays into a factor here.
First Durrani we know is good enough. Oh, and around!
Oh boy!
Max Davis! And Durrani's got to be careful not to get into anybody, but it's going to be a caution and a restart here at Meridian Speedway just before we were about to get to lap traffic being a factor in this race. Everyone's going to remain on the lead lap, including Max Davis, who got sent around right there. Caution out here in lap 25 here at the Meridian Speedway on this Friday night.
We are not going to catch up to lap traffic. We almost did.
We could still end up catching up to lap traffic once we get to the end of this race, if that ends up being the only caution of the night. This is actually, I would venture to say, it's a good opportunity for Skep Silver. He had a very good jump from the outside lane to remain in that second position. And he clearly has a fast race car there for Broke Boys Garage. Broke Boys Garage has had fast race trucks over in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. It's all these guys who are owners or drive for a team that is a truck team up front here right now. Definitely a fun race so far, but Durrani has led every lap in this one here in the Idaho 250. Let's go ahead and see what happens to bring out the first caution of the night here from the Meridian Speedway. Well, Blaine Keys here at his home racetrack. Not happy with Max Davis. Got into that quarter panel, and around goes the 61 machine. Right across the start-finish line. Tough break for Max Davis. Was in the points at the time of this happening. He's going to fall all the way back to 17th because of this. Logan Williams barely got a piece of that one. Hey, I think they all avoided him, actually. Even Keegan Thompson there in the 25 missed it. Henry Brown, Caleb Rose missed it as well. So that was it. Simple little spin, but enough to trigger the yellow flag for the first time here tonight in the Idaho 250.
4 mile track, 4 mile beef. Unfortunately, Blaine Keys turns the driver that I picked and essentially chases him, and luckily everyone avoids him. And he's going to be in 17th, but a tough play for Max Davis here tonight. But it's still very early on, and we got a great battle going on between Skep Silver, Mahindra, and Durrani. And let's go ahead and get back to the restart here at Meridian for race 14 on the season.
And we're back here at the Meridian Speedway, and Rayan Durrani has led every lap so far here in this Idaho 250. Skep Silver, Rashia Mahindra, Marisha Vebalist, and Zayden Davis in the top 5. Everybody still on the lead lap in this race, including Max Davis, who got sent around. He's not even last car on the racetrack right now, which is interesting enough. Rayan Durrani in the 54 machine going to lead us back to the green flag. Oh, Skep Silver got a pretty good jump there on the restart. Here comes Marisha Vebalist for 3rd on the 81 Rashia Mahindra. And Skep Silver going to try to find his way around this 54 and keep this championship at hand. And another caution, and around goes Blaine Keys. That's a shame for the hometown hero.
Good. Well, now we're getting some short track full-wing type action now. It's that
We
yellow
definitely
is
are.
good.
Making Rayan Durrani a little bit nervous. He's going to have to fend off Skep Silver on a restart again here at the Meridian Speedway. See how
like you
fast
said,
that
Skep
11
has
is.
great restart. Might have to watch out for that 44 as well. If that car can get another good jump, you might see Fabulous have a shot as well.
She is yet to get a race victory this season as well. 14th in the points from Mauricia Vebelis too, which is a bit ironic considering it's Echo Evans, Ross's driver, and you know she knows what she's doing with these ratings. Definitely a very different type of series the LYTE series has been than the Cup series or the Truck series. With being all driver ratings, being these short track races that are very short in length, we've seen some very interesting results throughout the season. Let's go ahead and see what happened to Blaine Keys to bring out the second caution of the night here in the Idaho 250 and get back to racing from the Meridian Speedway. Well, our Pro Series drivers bushwhacking this series giving us some trouble here. Logan Williams in the 83, just like what Blaine did to Max Davis a few laps ago, just on the other side of the racetrack, spins the 14 of Blaine around. Maybe this is Logan's idea to Blaine in this Pro Series championship. Of course, no Pro Series points in this race for these guys. Maybe a little bit of a, hey, watch out for me once we get the Pro Series going on here. We're coming for you in this championship. We'll see if that ends up being the case. Of course, Blaine lost the Wall Cup Series championship last year, and you know he'd love to get this one in the Pro Series. He's got a great shot at doing it, but he hasn't won in the Pro Series since February, so we'll see. A bit of damage right there from that one. Actually, pretty significant damage from Logan Williams. And then Williams actually got in the Keegan Thompson at the end there. And Keegan Thompson with significant damage there in the 25 machine. So tough break for those guys, especially Blaine. He was up there and he got spun around by his fellow Pro Series driver. But that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, and especially here on a quarter-mile racetrack like this.
Well, Williams and Keys. More short flat feet, and like you said, that was maybe a little bit of sign from these Pro Series drivers from Logan that, hey, we're going after that tire, and then a big hit off turn number 4, kind of the angle wall, a reverse angle wall for Keegan Thompson. And we gotta see how this all goes down on the restart. Got that 44 machine there, a Vebelis that got a great jump on Mahindra, got a +1 spot, and maybe has a factor if it does that once again. So let's see what happens after a second dump and turn here at Meridian Speedway.
Back once again at the Meridian Speedway here in Meridian, Idaho. Rayan Durrani has led every lap so far. Going to have to fend off another restart on Skep Silver. Mauricia Vebelis gained a spot there on that restart ahead of Rashi Mahendra, and then it's Zay Davidson there in the 5th position. Blaine Keys, pretty significant damage after getting sent around right there. Bring out our second caution of the night back underway. And this time around, Skep Silver does not get a good restart, but Mahendra gets a great restart to the inside of Vebelis right there. That's good news for Skep Silver in his attempt to close back in on the 54. Mahendra going to take that 3rd spot away from Mauricia Vebelis.
And now Skep has to worry about the 81 of Mahindra to try and hang on to that spot. And how about some of these moves, Johnson Jameson in the move inside of the top 5, and these restarts are very chaotic here. You gotta make up as many positions as possible. That's what they are doing from 5th to about 8th here on this restart.
Skep Silver doing all he can. Mahendra's going to overshoot.
Oh, that's not
really
good.
Overshoot there. Mauricia Vebelis back to the inside for 3rd. That's pretty much good news for Skep Silver. Doesn't necessarily have to worry about 3rd place, at least for now. Try to focus on getting to the back bumper of this 54 and have an opportunity of winning this race. That's the only shot that he's going to have at staying in championship contention. And Durrani cannot have Skep Silver win this race and clinch the championship here tonight. Skep a little wide once again, and Durrani has just been smooth as glass through these corners all night long. And he has definitely come out very strong in this series as a driver. We don't get to see Durrani as a driver too much. Of course, an owner in the Wall Cup Series, an owner in pretty much every series on the channel for that matter. As around went Trey Wright, but the green flag still is out, and now we're going to have lap traffic get in the way because that 19 off the pace. You got Johnson Jameson to the inside of Rashi Mahendra back in there, almost getting a nose to the inside of Vebelis, and will get a nose to the inside of Vebelis. That is for the 3rd position. Can't quite get it yet, and now Durrani's going to have to fend off Skep Silver with Trey Wright right ahead of him in his way.
And now this could be very sketchy for Durrani. He's going to puff it all night, place it up because of the lap putter. Skep Silver to the inside for the race lead and to try and keep the tire under control. Durrani blocks, and this is going to be a truck for some time with these top two with Trey Wright.
And Skep Silver is right there, and Durrani knows it. Durrani can't get around this 19 machine, and there goes Skep Silver. Has a shot to the inside. If he can keep it going in the 3, he's going to have a shot at this race lead, and there goes Skep Silver to the inside of Rayan Durrani, trying to keep this 11 machine in contention for the championship. Durrani way wide, going to the corner. Here comes Vebelis for second, as Skep Silver takes the lead on lap 47. He's going to try to get around this 19 to Trey Wright as well.
Moves him out of the way. Exactly what he needs to do. Durrani slips back to third, and Durrani might not like this racetrack anymore. He could have won the first one, got spun. He could have won this one in dominant fashion, but now he's going to be 3 wide. Oh no, don't spin again.
Oh, and how about Mahendra really pushing it, and they are 3 wide for second place. This is great news for Skep Silver. Durrani had a shot at taking second back away, and Rashi Mahendra got 2 for 1 right there, and now they're up to the second position. And Mauricio Vebelis is now down to the 4th spot as Durrani may end up 3 wide on the outside here. You got Johnson Jamison trying to make some moves. Durrani has solidified his spot in 3rd. But what a disaster, and it's not necessarily going to cost him the title outright. He's still going to have himself, it will be a 9-point lead the way they currently run. But Skep Silver's going to have a lot of momentum going in the Phoenix in 20 days. If he can get this race victory, his teammate Rashi Mahendra going to get around Trey Wright. Durrani, by the way, has yet to get around this 19 machine yet, and still cannot get around Trey Wright. Here comes Johnson Jamison for 4th on Mauricio Vebelis. Going to be 10 laps to go next time by for Skep Silver. About a 1.5 second lead on a quarter-mile racetrack, but Mahendra is coming in fast, and Skep needs to win this race if he's going to stay in championship contention.
Every time that Durrani tries and get to the back bumper, he gets tight. So I don't know if it's something about going air on a short track like this one, but it is affecting Durrani. Now Johnson Jameson all over the back bumper, and we got a battle back there between the A3
and there goes Jameson.
Oh, and that's gonna be another position and another point.
Yeah, it is.
And maybe another.
All these points.
Oh boy.
Skep Silver is going to get closer and closer to possibly stealing this championship in the BodyArmor LYTE Series West once we get to Phoenix on October 30th. It's going to be quite a finale if that ends up being the case. Durrani continues to lose spots. Marcus Glitch has gotten around him. So has Logan Williams, the Pro Series driver. And then you got Mauricio Vebelis also still trying to get that spot back away. And Durrani has lost time to Trey Wright in all of this, and there's going to be a conversation with Durrani. And now, if you're Caleb Rose, Caleb still has an opportunity here at getting back in the championship fray. He's up to the 10th position. 10. He's got to finish ahead of Durrani in order to have any opportunity. He's going to spin Zane Davidson around. And that's a yellow flag, and that's going to end the race. Skep Silver wins the race back to the line here at Meridian Speedway. And that actually will cost Caleb Rose an opportunity at still being in championship contention. It'll mitigate the damage for Rayan Durrani. But how about Skep Silver? Came into this race 13 points behind. He's going to head into Phoenix with a much larger gap. Much smaller gap, I should say, going in to that finale race. And he's going to have a shot at winning this title in the BodyArmor LYTE Series West. And how impressive would that be? Because Skep Silver is a driver who can get a Wall Cup Series reserve for winning this championship. Keep that in mind. We kind of thought Durrani or Caleb was going to win it, and, you know, neither of them are eligible to be a driver. Because Durrani's an owner, and Caleb, of course, running the National Series. But Skep Silver being a Wall Cup Series driver is a possibility, especially if he wins this championship in 20 days. And he's going to have an opportunity at doing so. Durrani will finish in 8th. That's 3 points for him. It's a 9-point gap. It's only 4 points separating Skep Silver and Rayan Durrani. There's a real chance for Skep Silver come Phoenix. And how about Broke Boys Garage and Skep Silver getting another quarter-mile race victory here? The BodyArmor LYTE Series West. Skep Silver wins the Idaho 250 here at the Meridian Speedway.
What a race. If you want to talk about some bullring type action, that's what we got here tonight. And once again, I don't think Durrani is going to like Meridian. He spun in the first one, and he got stuck on the outside lane, kind of because it's really light. It looked like his car just kept on getting tight. And like I said, this championship battle is far from over now as we go to Phoenix for the finale. And it's kind of like the E-Series title. We thought there was a possibility where we want to have a championship fight, and just like the East title, it's going to come down to a matter of points at Phoenix. And I will just say, shout out to Logan Williams, third here on the quarter-mile short track.
Yeah, he started dead last in this race too, by the way, which definitely goes a long way. If you're someone like Logan Williams, you know, obviously we know Logan Williams is a great driver, but that's an impressive run. Even with all the cautions, he made the most of it in that 83 machine, and there's still Martinsville left in the Pro Series, which, you know, is a short track. Maybe he's got some of that short track mojo going into that one. Still trying to find something on Blankies. They're trying to catch up to Blankies over there in the Pro Series, but outside of this race tonight, Blankies has been kind of unstoppable, at least in these Gen 6 machines. Skep Silver with the win ahead of Rashi Mahendra. That's a 1-2 finish for Broke Boys Garage. And that's actually the team Logan Williams drives for over in the Turkey Hill Truck Series, so pretty good day for Braden Perez's organization. Johnson Jameson, Marcus Glitch, Nicholas Cameron, Ratio Vebelis, Rayan Durrani finishing 8th. And Henry Brown and Caleb Rose rounding up the top 10. Caleb will actually still have a shot at this title. Only 2 points. He did lose some points. If Caleb wins and Durrani fails to point, Caleb actually still has an opportunity at the title as well. So we're actually going to have a 3-horse race for the championship going in the Phoenix, though it is pretty much between Durrani and Skep Silver. That's going to be a wild race. And keep in mind, too, and I'm going to say this, Rogel Dorn's going to be in that race. And seeing what Rogel Dorn did at New Hampshire in the BodyArmor Pro Series makes me wonder if we're going to finally see a Pro Series driver win one of these LYTE Series races in the last one of the season. Could very well get interesting in that regard. But final thoughts on this one, Nathan. What a race here from Meridian Speedway, and Skep Silver gets it done here in the Idaho 250.
Oh man, there's a reason why I wanted to call both of these Meridian races. I know from experience of how wild this quarter-mile short track can be, and some people would be like, oh, it's just a quarter-mile, what can really happen? A lot can happen, and you can slip up, you can turn people, you can have wets, and you can get stuck on the outside, and you can have championship implications happen. And that was a great race. And who knows if that stayed green, maybe it would have been a 1v1 battle between both of the boys' garage cars for the win. We may never know, but what a race here at Meridian. Glad to be a part of it here for both races this season. And tune into Phoenix, everybody, because we have a 3-way fight for the title. Mostly 2, but if Skep Silver and Rayan Durrani have something happen, Caleb could swoop on in and maybe steal the title. It's going to be one heck of a race at Phoenix.
It absolutely will. Who knew we were going to get this in the West Series? And hey, we had a lot of drama in the East Series finale last week at Toledo. I think we're shaping up for a lot of drama in the West Series, and there's that massive implication there of Skep Silver winning the championship and getting that Wall Cup Series reserve. That is huge, because Skep Silver, of course, Truck Series driver, had a lot of success, hasn't won yet, but tends to have a lot of success there with Parker Davis. You get Skep Silver in that machine, and then if he wins the title, anyone can sign him that has an open team, and Mahendra has an open team. You're Rashi Mahendra, you're seeing what Skep Silver, your teammate's doing, like, I want that guy on my team for 2026 in the Wall Cup Series, and that could very well happen. And we'll have to see. We'll have to see if Skep Silver can pull it off. But second win of the season here in the West Series for Skep Silver. He's got a very, very good chance at stealing it at Phoenix. We're just going to have to see how it all goes down. That is October 30th right here on AG the channel. Going to be a fun one for the BodyArmor West Series finale. Thank you guys so much for watching. What a fun race here tonight from Meridian Speedway. Huge thanks to Nathan Stapleton for joining me for this one. And I'm excited to see how this title's going to go down. But I'm excited for next week. We've got Double Dega, GRT Double Dega coming up next week. 2 Talladega races for the BodyArmor Pro Series. And once we get to November, we're going to see a lot of these Pro Series races. Of course, Coca-Cola 100K going to be part of Thanksgiving 500 quote-unquote weekend, though it's in the middle of the week. It's going to be the night before Thanksgiving, leading into the Thanksgiving 500, which is just around the corner. We got 6 weeks from now, 7 weeks from now, the Thanksgiving 500, so I know we're all excited for that one. Always a fun race at the Coca-Cola Super Speedway, and we're just going to see how it all shakes out once we get to that point. But thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations to Skep Silver. Here are your point standings. The BodyArmor LYTE Series West, after 14 races, 1 race left to go, and we got ourselves a championship fight going into Phoenix. Thank you guys so much for watching once again, and I will see you guys later.